What happens when the mightiest demon king in the universe confronts the supreme cosmic force? This legendary tale from Hindu mythology showcases an extraordinary demonstration of strength, pride, and divine power that would echo through the ages. In the golden age of gods and demons, there lived Ravana, the powerful ruler of Lanka. Born with 10 heads and 20 arms, he possessed strength that made the 3 worlds tremble. Through years of intense meditation and devotion to Lord Shiva, Ravana had earned tremendous powers and boons that made him nearly invincible. Yet, as his power grew, so did his ego. Ravana was not just a fearsome warrior, he was also an accomplished scholar and musician. His mastery of the Vedas and his ability to play the veena earned him a special place among Shiva's devotees. But power has a way of clouding even the wisest minds, and Ravana's extraordinary abilities began to feed his growing pride. One day, while traveling through the celestial realms in his magnificent flying chariot, Pushpaka Vimana, Ravana approached Mount Kailasa, the sacred abode of Lord Shiva. The mountain stood majestic, its snow-capped peaks piercing the heavens, surrounded by divine energy that made even the most powerful beings approach with reverence. But Ravana's heart had hardened with pride. Looking at the mountain blocking his path, he thought, "Why should I, the mighty king of Lanka, take a longer route around this mountain? With my strength, I can simply lift it and create my own path." This thought, born from his inflated ego, would lead to one of the most memorable demonstrations of the difference between mortal strength and divine power. Descending from his chariot, Ravana approached the base of Mount Kailasa. The mountain stood serene, unaware of the challenge that awaited it. Ravana placed his 20 powerful arms beneath the mountain's base and began to lift. The very act was inconceivable, a being attempting to lift the cosmic mountain, the sacred abode of Shiva himself. At first, nothing happened. Then, gradually, the mountain began to shake. The tremors were felt throughout the 3 worlds. The gods watched in disbelief as Ravana's incredible strength actually began to move Mount Kailasa. Trees swayed, rocks tumbled, and the celestial beings residing on the mountain cried out in fear. Inside their divine abode, Shiva and his consort Parvati were enjoying a peaceful moment when they felt the disturbance. Parvati, alarmed by the shaking, clutched Shiva's arm. With a knowing smile, Lord Shiva understood immediately what was happening. The supreme deity, who could destroy the universe with a mere blink, decided to teach his devoted but misguided follower a lesson in humility. With just his big toe, Lord Shiva pressed down lightly on the mountain. That simple action created an immense weight that crushed Ravana beneath the mountain. The demon king, who had lifted the mountain with his immense strength, now found himself pinned under its massive weight. His pride shattered, Ravana began to cry out in pain. But this was not just physical pain, it was the agony of realization. In that moment of being crushed beneath the mountain, Ravana understood the vast difference between his power and the divine power of Shiva. His previous devotion resurged, and he began to sing hymns in praise of Lord Shiva, composing the famous Shiva Tandava Stotram. For 1,000 years, Ravana remained trapped, singing praises to Shiva. His compositions were so beautiful, and his devotion so intense that eventually Lord Shiva was moved to release him. When finally freed, Ravana was a changed being, at least temporarily. He had learned firsthand that no matter how strong one becomes, divine power is infinitely greater. This tale carries profound wisdom for our modern world. It teaches us that physical strength, no matter how extraordinary, pales in comparison to spiritual power. It reminds us that pride can blind even the most accomplished individuals, leading them to foolish actions. Most importantly, it shows that true strength lies not in the ability to lift mountains, but in the wisdom to know our place in the cosmic order. The story of Ravana's attempt to lift Mount Kailasa serves as an eternal reminder that power without humility leads to downfall, while devotion with understanding leads to grace. Even today, when pride begins to overtake wisdom, this tale emerges from the depths of Hindu mythology to remind us of the eternal truth, that in the cosmic dance of existence, it is not our strength, but our surrender to the divine that truly elevates us.